Okay, so you know what? I've been kind of thinking about some things today. And one of the things that I was thinking about is, creating memories now, or actually, being with friends and family and actually thinking about, we take pictures and, in my case, I do video. But I was thinking today, with everything that I'm going through and the way things have been going for me, my ups and downs, I've been thinking about different ways to try to talk to you guys and to try to encourage you to maybe pick up a camera or, even your cell phone. Everybody has a cell phone nowadays. Take pictures, do video, whatever it is you want to do. But my thing about this is try to create memories now. And we're going to get a little deep into this. I'm going to explain to you what I'm talking about. And what I'm getting at is this, is that, I've been thinking about what happens to you, what's the process as far as, when you're here and then let's say you pass away, what's the whole process of everything that's happening. And so what I came up with is you pretty much just, you fade away eventually. Let me explain that to you. Number one, okay, so you're here today. And of course, sometimes you don't know you're going to get sick. In my case, what I have going on. But sometimes things, are unexpected. Things happen. You end up getting sick, and sometimes I'm not talking about like the common cold or things like that. I'm talking about deeper than that. I'm talking about, where you can pass away. So what I mean by fading away is, let's take a look at what happens to you when you're here. You're living life. You go hang out with friends, family, you visit your mom, your dad, your kids, and things like that. And so then all of a sudden you end up getting sick, right? So what happens? You get sick, but let's say, like in my case, cancer. I thought I had beat it, and for the most part, the cancer was stopped. I have no more stomach. You guys already know this. And then the cancer came back. And so now I'm dealing with, am I going to still have cancer? Is it going to be curable now? What am I going to do if, let's say, I can't go back to work? Am I going to be disabled for 100%? Financially, what am I going to do? How much time do I have to live? All these things, come into play. So, but what really happens when you end up, just fading away? Because really and truly, that's really what happens to you. Now, I don't know if that's the correct terminology that I wanted to use. I was thinking about what kind of words can I use other than fading away. You guys let me know if maybe there's something else that I can probably come up with, but for right now we're just going to keep it with fading away. So let's see what happens. So you're living here today, and then all of a sudden you find out that you have cancer, and then maybe it's curable, maybe it's not. Then it's like you end up passing away, right? So what really happens? You end up passing away. Everybody's there. They go to your funeral. They end up, you got friends and family, parents, people that are close to you, people that are not close to you, co-workers, things like that. And so they end up going to your funeral. They pay their respects. What happens after that? You end up going, maybe you have a dinner. Everybody, gathers around. They reminisce about you. They tell stories about you. In my case, it's like, I hope they say what a crazy motherfucker this guy was. I always like to have fun. That was me, always being a joker, joking around, things like that. So I wonder what people would say about me after I'm gone. But anyway, so that's what happens pretty much. You know, people come from out of town, and people they can. And people, you know, for that day, that they end up burying you. They lay you to rest and everything else. Of course, you know, they go to the church and all that other good stuff. And then, what happens? What happens after that? Like I said, people end up going back home. People get back to their normal routine. They get back to their lives. You know, go back to work and everything else. And who really remembers you? Who really, you know, is going to be thinking about you? At least for the first year. Think about it. Those are going to be people like, you know, your close friends, maybe some of your co-workers, obviously your parents who are still alive, in my case, your kids, things like that. They're going to remember you. So then you have a year anniversary. Everybody's doing their thing. Like I said, you know, people are going to remember you or your close, you know, friends and family. So what happens is, what do you have? Sometimes they have a mass for you, right? 1 year anniversary. You know, that this person's been, you know, deceased, passed away. So not everybody's going to come to the mass. Not everybody's going to celebrate. Because some people are going to be, you know, from out of town. And of course, you know, they're going to carry on with their lives. And, you know, the ones that are going to really be there are going to be, again, maybe your kids, close friends, you know, your mom and dad if they're there, you know, aunts and uncles, things like that, cousins, you know, even cousins sometimes, they might not even show up, you know, because people get busy. People, you know, kind of, you know, you just kind of fade away. And that's how it is. So what this video is about today is go out there, and I want to encourage you to spend time with family, spend time with friends. Those close friends that you have, those are the ones that are going to be, you know, remembering you. And you're gonna, I mean, you're not going to be here, but those are the people who are going to remember you when it comes to your 1 year anniversary. You know, and not everybody's going to be able to come out. You're going to, I mean, you're not going to be here, but you know what I'm talking about. People are from out of town, and they're not going to really make a trip to come down here. You know, very, very few are going to do that, to come out here and, let's say, drive 3 hours, 4 hours to come for your mass. It's going to be very few. So my thing is, create memories now. Pull out that camera, you know, use your phone. Everybody has a phone nowadays. And regardless of what you do, you know, even if it's just, you know, taking pictures and you share them, because that's what we do. We take pictures and we share them, put them up on social media, you know, share them with your friends and family, you know, and you joke about it, you laugh. That's what it's about. But like I said, you know, you do fade away. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you know what I'm telling you is the truth. So go out there and create memories now. If you're into taking photos, if you're into doing video like the way I do, which is why, you know, I started my channel, because it's about me. And it's about me leaving, you know, something behind for my kids, my friends, my family, my close friends and family. You never know. But then again, you might have friends that are just like, you know, oh man, this asshole, you know, I'm glad he's gone or whatever, you know. I don't know. I'm a realist, you know. I like to keep it for real, and that's how it is sometimes. But yeah, you know, I mean, just think about it, you know. I wanna make you think about that. Am I wrong? Am I right? You know, I'd like to know. Leave me a comment below and let me know if it's the right, you know, terminology, because you do fade away. Eventually, those people that are going to remember you are going to be your close friends and family and parents, you know, kids. So whatever you do, you know, go out there and just enjoy life. You know, that's another thing too. You have to go out there and enjoy life. Live for today. Live like, you know, there's no tomorrow. That's where I'm at right now. I was talking to Christina yesterday, and you know, there's a lot of things that I talked to her about, and you know, sometimes I don't know, I end up, maybe it's too much for her. Maybe I put a little bit too much on her, and you know, that's my fault. That's because pretty much, you know, I'm thinking a lot now. When you've been diagnosed with cancer like I have, and you've been told that, you know, hey, the second time around, you know, is probably not going to be curable. Am I going to remission, you know, and we're not going to, you know, really and truly get rid of it. We're just going to try and slow it down. So what goes on through your head? What is it that you start thinking about? You know, you start trying to think about, you know, like I said, you know, in my case, work. Am I going to be disabled? Am I going to be able to go back to work? My life is completely different now. My life is not the same anymore. I'm struggling as it is now. You know, when I eat, when with pain, you know, and I've told Christina sometimes that I'm better off when my eyes are closed. And what I mean by that is when I'm asleep, I feel nothing, no pain, no discomfort, no anything. It's the second that my eyes open up and I start feeling some kind of way. I start feeling a little bit depressed. My body starts hurting. I don't know what kind of day it's going to be. I don't know if I'm going to have a good day, if I'm going to have a bad day. I just don't know. And with this sickness, you just really don't know. And now, yeah, of course, you know, I'm going through chemo, so things are going to be changing for me. You know, I'm going to have effects, you know, because of the chemo. But once you get over the chemo, you know, you just don't know what kind of day you're going to have. And here lately, I've been having some pretty shitty days that sometimes I don't want to get up. I don't want to, you know, I was telling her that just having to get up and going to go brush your teeth or going to the bathroom, you know, it's a struggle for me. And for those of you that are following me here and that have, you know, going through the same thing, cancer, it might not be the same cancer that I'm going through, but you know what I'm talking about. It's a struggle. Sometimes it's a struggle just to get up and go brush your teeth. A struggle to get up and go take a shower. You know, right now what I'm going through is I'm going through this, you know, my feet are swollen, my you know, my legs are swollen, my groin area is swollen. I mean, it's pretty bad. Of course, obviously I can't show you that, but from the waist down, it's pretty bad. I pretty much, you know, have to go to sleep with my feet elevated, and then everything starts to get kind of almost back to normal. Not really. My groin area is what I'm having an issue with right now, because when I elevate my feet, you know, it kind of, the sweating kind of goes down. But in my groin area, and especially like, you know, my penis, my testicles, I mean, if you could see them, it's like they're swollen. It doesn't hurt, but it is swollen because it's filled with fluid. And I can't, I mean, I can go to the bathroom, everything's okay, but I have to deal with that. And it kind of sucks because it's like I just can't get rid of it. I talked to the nurse today and they're going to address it, you know, they're going to let the team know about it. And now that's been pushed over for another week. I was supposed to do chemo tomorrow. I was supposed to see a doctor today, but that got pushed till next week, till next Thursday and next Friday, because I had to do my CT scan a couple of days ago. I just picked up the disc yesterday, and so I turned it in today. So now the team has to go over it, or the radiologist has to go over it and do his thing. So that's going to take about a week. So they pushed it over. Now my job also is telling me that, you know, I've been on going on a year now in February. And so now I'm on the brink of, losing my job because it's been a whole year. So today I had to turn in the CD to MD Anderson so they can go over it. I had to turn in some paperwork for, some medical leave for my work. And I don't know how it's going to go. I really don't. I don't want to lose my job. My plan is to go back to work. And, even, if I can't really, I don't want to say perform my job duties at 100%, at my job where I work at, there is no light duty. I'm pretty sure, they can assign me like downtown where I can do light duty work, and that's fine. But how long am I going to last there? How long am I going to be able to do that? As it is right now with the retention of water, it hurts when I walk, and when I go to the store, I have to look for a scooter so I can, get on the scooter and move around, which, by the way, that's another issue right there, is that I'm waiting on a scooter too. They just called me today to let me know that, not just one company she's going to deal with, because she said that she's been calling this company, but they haven't returned the call back. So now she wanted to let me know that she's going to reach out to another company to see if they can, expedite this also again. So that's just like, it's just starting the ball over again, or starting it over again, and which it kind of sucks, but it is what it is. And I've said it before, we're talking about that since the get-go, I've had, like, my insurance company, they canceled the hospital that I was supposed to have surgery, for the cancer. So that kind of, put up a wall, and I had to start over again, which is why I went to MD Anderson. It just seems like every so often I get a little hiccup, and it just kind of sucks because, I'm the patient, and anyway, I don't want to kind of go away from what I was talking about. What I was talking about, kind of stay on is, create memories today, do that, because eventually you are going to fade away. Whether you like it or not, it's going to happen. Not everybody's going to remember you. And like even myself, I'm to blame also. How many times, like I live, out here towards Houston. My home is back home in Corpus. Now I remember, my grandparents, my mom's parents, I was pretty much, raised around them. And so I was pretty close to them. Now I can remember the day that my grandmother passed away. I can remember the day that my grandfather passed away. But that's because I was close to them. I had good memories with them. Now, back then I was a kid, I didn't think about, pictures like this or video or anything like that. But I remember them up here, And so I remember the day, I can sit here and I can tell you, what I was doing, when my grandmother passed away. And I remember I was in school. I was in middle school. And I remember my dad coming to pick me up out of school. I knew that my grandmother was in the hospital. She was diabetic. They had amputated both her legs. And, you know about being diabetic. Once they start amputating legs or body parts, more is to come. Because being a diabetic, you really have to take care of yourself. And if you really don't, and it's not that you can't take care of yourself, but sometimes it's just the way it is. The body, that's how it is. And so I remember I was at school, middle school, and my dad came to pick up me and my cousin from school, took us out, and we ended up going back home. And the whole thing was that my grandmother had came home from the hospital to pass away at home. That's what she wanted. That was her wish. She didn't want to die at the hospital. She wanted to die at her home. So they took us out. My dad took us out. We went home and he told us what was going on. And, of course, obviously, you go through the process. You go to the funeral, you grieve, things like that. And I can honestly tell you that when I go back home sometimes, I'll go to her grave. I'll go to their grave, and it's not often that I do that, but, I do remember. And so I do go. And again, that's what I'm trying to tell you is the closest people that are going to remember you are going to do things like that. You might have, even if you have people that live out of town, they might not be able to go, but they're going to remember you, and they're going to remember little things about you like that. And that's nice. That's all cool, and but you are going to have people that are going to just forget about you. You're going to fade away again. So, that's the what I can tell you about, like the story about my grandmother. I remember because, I was close to her. I remember my grandfather because I was close to him too. So there's plenty of stories that I can tell you guys about that. But you guys get my point? Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? As far as, fading away. You just have to remember. You have to live life today. So I'm going to wrap it up here. I think I've done enough talking. I hope that you guys, understand where I'm coming from. And I hope that you guys go out there and start creating memories. Spend time. I've said it before. I am going to say it, call. You need to make amends with someone. Do it. It's okay. It'll be fine. In the long run, you're going to be the better person, right? So think about things like that. But I don't want to stray away and go into, something like that. Be close to your family. Call your mom if they're still alive, your parents. Call your kids, Even, sometimes kids do things that they're not going to make you happy. Things that, when they're adults, they're gonna lead their own life. What can you do? You can only hold their hand so long. After that, once you raise them and let's say you did a good job, they're on their own. They're gonna do what they want to do. They're not gonna sit here. They might listen to you, but it doesn't mean they're gonna actually listen to you and do what you want them to do after they're an adult. And we know this. So give them a call. Talk to them more often. Let them know that you love them. Let them know that, you're there for them in the good times and the bad times. Your wife, your husband, your girlfriend, talk to them. Let them know how you feel. Life is too short to just, I can't express my feelings to you because I'm just not that way. That's the issue with men sometimes, is that we can't express ourselves to our significant other, because we are too macho. You know what I'm saying? Forget about all that stuff, man. Just leave it out the door. Life is too short. You gotta live for today. Go out there and let them know how you feel. I mean, what's wrong with telling them I love you? I was like that. I'm not a person that is too or shows too much affection. But here lately, I've been doing it with Christina. Out of the blue, I'll send her a text and I'll let her know. And sometimes it's funny because I call her vieja. If you guys don't know what vieja is in Spanish, that means, woman. It kind of sounds a little derogatory the way it comes out in Spanish. But I'll send her a text and I'll tell her, hey vieja, I love you, or I miss you. And maybe she just left for work, an hour ago. Little things like that, go a long way. Even though it sounds kind of derogatory sometimes, like by saying vieja, or instead of just saying, hey woman, I love you. Or, hey, you're my other part and, I love you. Sounds kind of funny, but calling her vieja in Spanish. It doesn't sound too good, but it is what it is. You know, she still knows that, you know, now she's starting to know because I'm starting to open up more now. And I wasn't a person that was so affectionate, you know, like holding hands and things like that, or just cuddling and things like that. Now, in the beginning, yeah, of course I was, you know, but we're like that because, you know, what we're after. We're after trying to get that prize. You know, we want that woman. We want her to be by our side. We want her to be our girlfriend. We want her to be our wife. Eventually, things like that, you know. That's why we do it in the beginning. After after we sold her, after we, you know, caught the fish, so to speak, you know, what do? We kind of forget about it, almost like fading away. So be nice. Every once in a while, you know, send her a text. Every once in a while, call her. Let her know how did you appreciate her. Let her know that, hey, I love you. You know, like David says, I love you. Hell, even, you know, even with that, we have fun sometimes. You know, just joking around about it, but you know what I'm talking about. Just do it. Just go ahead and do it. Don't be so macho if you're a guy. If you guys are, you listening to this, don't be that guy, man. You know, call them up and let them know. And I know I'm just going on and going, but you know, I want to really emphasize on that. Open up and just let it out. It's okay. It's not gonna kill you. Life is too short. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. I hope you guys got something out of this, or are gonna get something out of this, what I'm talking about. So go out there and create memories now before you fade away. And with that being said, let me know what you guys think about what this little topic was, you know. I'm curious to know. I always like to read your comments, and excuse me, you know, I want to know. I want to be more open with you guys. And with that being said, just let me just tell you guys right now, from me to you, I love you guys. Because with YouTube, some of you guys have become, you know, real close friends, and you guys check up on me. And so for that, you know, I can honestly sit here in front of my camera, tell you my story, and I can honestly sit here and tell you know what? Tell you guys that I love you. And thank you for being there for me. I don't know how much time I have left in this world. I don't know where this sickness is going to take me, but I want you to know that, you know, just like you're here for me, I'm here for you too. I might not be able to do much for you, but I do love you guys, man. And thank you for the support. And it's not so bad. Me telling you guys, which some of you guys don't even know, but I can sit here and honestly tell you that I love you. Thank you for the support, and we'll see you in the next one. Badass.
Someone I'm not really into. Do you need to fix it? Talking bullshit.